Hello, St. Peter's and all my summer reading explore adventure friends. Here we are, folks. We have made it to the end of our summer reading adventures. Don't be sad, because today is a very fun adventure. And we're just going to have fun today, do our adventure, and I'll tell you where we go from here at the end of today. All right? Let's have some fun. All my friends are here. Ralph, Magic Monkey, Daisy, and Joy with her jar of joy. We are all here outside on this cloudy day to have our last fun summer reading adventure with you. Let's see what book we have today in our Summer Reading Explorers pack. Oh, this is a good one. It's an older story, but I think you're really going to like it. We have to get ready for this story. What do you say, guys? You want to get ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Let's turn up our ears so we're ready to listen. Turn off our mouths so we don't make a sound. Put your hands quietly in your lap. Take a nice, big, deep breath. Now we're ready for our story. This story is called, Where Does the Butterfly Go When It Rains? That's a really good question. Have you ever thought about that? Where does the butterfly go when it rains? I don't know. Do you know? Maybe they know. This book has been around for quite a long time. I bet if you ask your grandparents, they may have heard it at school as well. Our author is May Garelick, and our pictures are by Leonard Weisgard. Let's find out where the butterfly goes when it rains. I am curious. Are you curious? Rain, 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 rain. Where does the butterfly go when it rains? That's what we're all trying to find out. And the mole and the tree and the bird and the mole and the bee and the bird in the tree, where do they go when it rains? A mole can stay in his hole. Well, that's perfect. A bee can fly back to her hive. There's the bee. That's a good house to go into when it's raining. I've heard that a bird tucks its head under its wing. But where does the butterfly go when it rains? I know that my cat goes scat under the porch. I've seen him do that when it rains. Because under the porch you would stay nice and dry. A snake, I suppose, can slide between rocks. Sure. A grasshopper can hide in the tall grass. Can you see it? Where's the grasshopper? That's right, there he is. He's small enough that those tall grasses sure would protect him from the rain. A rabbit can dash, whoosh, into a bush. But where does the butterfly go when it rains? The cows I see in the field just stand in the rain and get wet. They eat and get wet, and they eat and get wetter. Don't cows mind the rain? I guess they don't. I know why a duck doesn't mind the rain. Someone told me. A duck's feathers are oily and slick, so the rain doesn't stick. Water slides off a duck's back. Quack, quack. That's why if you've ever watched a duck in the pond and they dip down to get some food and they come back up and the water rolls right off, it's like they're dry as can be. That would be a fun thing to have. Let your hair just get swooshed right off the water. But what about minnows? And what about trout? Where do fish go when it rains? Oh, Pooh, that's silly. It doesn't rain underwater. They're already wet. What does a turtle do in the rain? If I were a turtle with a shell over me, I would know what to do in the rain. Wouldn't you? That would be handy to have in the rain. You just tuck yourself right inside that shell and you would not get wet. But what can a butterfly do? How can it fly if its wings are wet? Where does the butterfly go when it rains? And the bird in the tree is a puzzle to me. Even if its head is tucked under his wing, what happens to the rest of him? Poor thing. Well, at least a bird would be in a nest and the leaves would protect him. He wouldn't get too wet because the leaves would be like an umbrella. As soon as the rain stops raining so hard, I'll go quietly up to a tree. And maybe I'll find a bird in that tree and I'll see what it does in the rain. Maybe I'll find a butterfly too. Then I'll know what it does when it rains. What a great idea. Did you ever think about that? But where can I look? I've never seen a butterfly out in the rain. Have you? I have not. Maybe today would be a good day because we have rain and then it stops raining and then it rains and it stops raining. Right now it's not raining. Cross your fingers that it's not raining till we're done. But if it's just raining lightly and you could carry your umbrella and there's not like thunder or lightning, you could go outside and try to see where all of those animals are when it rains. Look up in the tree. Do you see the birds? Look around. Do you see anything scurrying under the bush? The rabbits? I can tell you in my yard, what's not going to be hiding during the rain are the squirrels. I was out here this morning and it was raining. And guess who was still out? Only the squirrel eating out of the bird feeder. He was more interested in breakfast than getting wet. He didn't care. But everyone else was hiding. So go out and see what you can find. But we still have a mystery to solve. Where does a butterfly go when it rains? Well, since we don't know, because we've never seen the butterfly hiding anywhere, why don't we make a space for the butterfly? Have you ever seen a fairy garden? Have you ever heard of a fairy garden? Well, fairy gardens are magical, and you can create them in your own yard. Whether you have just a little space next to your house or your garage, or you have room in your backyard, you only need a tiny little spot because fairies are very tiny. And butterflies are also very small. So if you build one for the fairies to come dance, I'm sure they will share with the butterflies when it rains and they can all stay dry in the shelter that you build. How do you do that, you say? I have just the thing. Well, instead of putting my supplies in my backpack today, I had to carry around this bucket because I didn't want it getting all messy inside my backpack. So this bucket was the perfect thing to gather my supplies for our fairy garden / butterfly shelter when it rains, right? So what do I have in here? Just things that I found around my own yard. I didn't have to go any further than my driveway. So I found this limpy, kind of crazy shaped leaf that fell off of a plant today in the rain. I thought that was kind of neat looking. I have now in my yard, we have, actually it's my neighbors, but they fall into our yard, a black walnut tree. And so the squirrels like to eat the nuts out of the inside, but wouldn't that make a really neat dish for the fairies to drink water out of? That's why I picked that up. I have pine trees in my yard, so I found this very tiny pine cone. I also picked up a lot of pine needles, but I'm going to show you that in a minute because I already set them down. I started my shelter already. And then I thought, flowers are always great, but you can't always pick the flowers that are in your yard. Your mom, your grandma, your dad, your aunt, somebody is not going to be happy. Now you can ask them, and if they say, oh, sure, you can have a few flowers, that's okay. But if they don't want you picking anything, don't do that. I have a solution in almost every yard. And if you don't have any in your yard, look on the sidewalk down the road from your house because I guarantee you there will be some clover. And the great thing about clover, it grows in grass. A lot of people don't like it. They think it's a weed. I think it's beautiful. Rabbits love it. Woodchucks love it. Animals love it. But they grow these little tiny flowers. I actually have 2 colors of clover in my yard. So I can pick that, I can pull that out of the grass and nobody's gonna be upset about it and it'll still make my fairy garden amazing. I also got some little rocks from my driveway And what else do I have in here? Like maybe little pieces of mulch. Huh, I actually just found something shiny at the bottom of my bucket. It's like a piece of confetti. Maybe I'll put that in my fairy garden. They love shiny things. Okay, do you want to see what I've started making? All right, come on a little adventure with me and we'll go back here and you will get to see my amazing shelter that I have started. Look at that. So here's what I've done. I took a stick and I broke it in half and I stuck them into the dirt like this. I'll show you. I just went like this. Now the ground is nice and soft because we've had rain, so it's not hard to stick things in the dirt if you need to, which is a great thing to do on a fairy day. If it hasn't rained for a while, sometimes the ground gets really hard and that makes it difficult to push things down into it. But we did just fine today. And here are those pine needles I was telling you about. Doesn't it look like a nice soft bed? So I put this leaf. Now I got this leaf from the plant that's directly behind this. This leaf was already chewed up by some bugs. So there's a notch in the top of this leaf that I stuck in to my stick, and it's like a little roof or an umbrella. So our butterfly could sit right here when it's raining and it's not going to get wet. Isn't that amazing? Maybe the fairies can come and dance under there as well and have a little party. So I wanted to make it a little more exciting for them. So this is the little shelter they could be under when it's raining, so the butterfly's wings don't get wet. But what if they have a chance to play when it's not raining and they love what we've done? Over here, just next to it, I just took some sticks and I broke them and I started making a little bridge. So you could make that bigger if you wanted. And then I started taking some of those pebbles, I'm gonna get some more, and I started making a little pathway that they could take from the bridge to the umbrella leaf shelter, right? My pebbles can take it all the way up there, right? So they can walk across the bridge, they can dance across the pebbles, and then they can have their little shelter. What should I do with, remember I have my walnut and I have that pine cone. I kind of have a good idea for this. What do you think about this? If they want to drink, I'm going to pull this out of here. If they want to take a drink, I could set it here. And then what if we put a little bench there so then they can sit on the bench and drink, have a little drink of water when they get tired of dancing. What do you think about that? Now, the great thing is we have our clover, remember, to make it so pretty. So now we can decorate. So we have our shelter done. Now we're gonna decorate with our clover flowers. We can put one on this side. You can do it however you want. If you were allowed to pick another kind of flower, you could put those around, right? And then, here's my crazy flower. Where should we put that? I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna put it over here. So it's like gives it a little color next to our pathway. So even if you look around, now where I'm sitting, just looking at the ground around my fairy garden and my butterfly house, I see all sorts of things. You know, there's more leaves, different kinds of leaves. There's some more sticks. Here's a little tiny leaf, that's pretty cool. There's some of these from a tree, all kinds of things, another kind of seed that fell off of a tree. You can use all of these things to make your fairy garden butterfly shelter as fancy as you want. It's up to you. What do you think about that? I love it. I can't wait to see what sort of thing you're going to come up with when you create yours. Now remember, you're not going to have all of the same things that I have in my yard, right? Because you have different things growing in your yard. That's okay. That's what makes this so amazing. And that's why the fairies love to go from different ones. They like to visit all sorts of different fairy houses. They want to see what yours looks like. And if you ever want to check on it, you always have to be very quiet so you don't scare them away. Butterflies get very nervous. and so do fairies. You have to be very careful, okay? So after you build it, go away for a while and then sneak tiptoe back and see what you can find, all right? Let me know what happens. All right, that was really fun. Are you ready to spread some joy? Joy, what do you say? Let's do it. Let's spread some joy on this very fun day because we are building fairy houses and the butterflies will have somewhere to go if it rains later on again. We're spreading joy for the animals. Let's spread some joy for the people. What are we gonna do today, Joy? Tino, I chose yours. I'm so happy I chose yours for our final summer adventure. It says, share a happy memory. This was Tino's idea. I love this idea, Tino. You can think of things that you've done with your family. You can talk about vacations you once took or fun things you did at school or places you got to visit, maybe if you created something fun in your house or when you had a game night. Memories are everywhere. I have a memory that's just from yesterday. It's a fresh memory, but it sure made me smile. Talk about spreading kindness. So I've been getting the library ready for you to come back to school. I've also been trying to get all the books back that the students checked out when we had to stop coming to school. So slowly and surely, you've been bringing them back, which I love. But yesterday, I got a book back, and on the inside, she wrote me a special note. She tucked a piece of paper inside, and it said, I miss you all so much. I can't wait to see you. I miss you. I miss you. I love you. From Ava. What a nice thing to find. And it really spread joy in my heart. So thank you, Ava. That will be a happy memory for me for a very long time. I hope you all can share some wonderful happy memories that made you happy, made your heart feel some joy. And that will spread our joy today by remembering those amazing times, right? I know you all got good stories in there. I can't wait to hear them. Okay, boys and girls, this is the time. Let's take out our Summer Reading Explorer log and our marker. Oh my goodness, this day is very exciting. Guess what? We only have one stamp left to fill in. And we just completed our adventure with our butterfly shelter / fairy house. So I am going to draw a butterfly on my final stamp. There it is. All right, should we count them up? Let's do it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Boys and girls, we have been on adventures for 8 weeks, 16 amazingly fun adventures, and congratulations because you have just completed your Summer Reading Explorer Adventure Log. Now, as promised, once you have completed all of these, and if you're going out of order, it's okay, go back and watch something else and you'll fill them in. Once you have completed all of your stamps, you are going to bring this back to school, right? Bring this back to St. Peter's School and you will get a prize. If you don't go to St. Peter's School, send me a message and I'll give you the address to our school that you can mail it in, and I will make sure that you get a prize because all explorers have earned a prize after all of these fun adventures. What do you say, Ralph? Ralph's getting a prize. He's been here all along with us. Same with Magic Monkey and Daisy and the Pig of Joy. I am so happy that you decided to share your summer with me. We still have some summer to go. So here's what's going to happen. Next week, it's going to be vacation week. If you need to catch up on some videos, go ahead. If you still want to watch me, there are so many videos. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them on St. Peter's Facebook page. You can rewatch ones you've already done if you've seen them all. If you haven't seen them all, go back and see if there's something cool that you haven't explored yet, right? I have them all since we started out of school, all the way up to our summer reading adventures. And then beginning in August, I will still come back with some amazing story times. This time it's going to be Let's Get Ready for School. So I'll be here on Tuesdays and Thursdays having fun. It's still going to be fun, still going to be exciting. Maybe not always an outdoor adventure, but that doesn't mean we still can't come outside. We're going to do some fun activities, fun crafts, get our brains back in action, get our fingers back ready to write and cut and do all sorts of fun things. So I hope you come back and join me in August. Until then, get this ready. I'm ready to see you with it. Also, spread your joy. Joy in our spread joy. Tell those happy memories. Spread that joy to your family, friends. You could even call someone up, call your grandma on the phone and talk about a happy memory you had together with her, because I'm sure you have had some. All right? Spread your joy. Boys and girls, have a wonderful week next week. I won't see you here, but hopefully you'll see me. Maybe you'll be watching. And I will see you again in August when we get ready for back to school. Keep spreading your joy.